Welcome to another presentation of the Silent Sports Video Blog. This is episode 185. Today's date is June 18th, 2022. I'm Troy West saying thank you so much for joining me for another edition of the Silent Sports Video Blog. Big show this week. A lot's gone on. I was off last week. Had to get myself together. I was very under the weather. I'm still getting over it a little bit, but I'm a lot better than I was, let's say, this time a week ago. So I'm grateful to be back on the channel. A lot of stuff coming up on the channel, period. There's a lot of stuff we got to cover. Sports starting to get in the full swing, but in the baseball world, I'm an Atlanta Braves fan, so I gotta talk about my Braves. They've been on a hot streak. Even though it ended last night, they lost last night 1-0 to the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs came in with a 10-game loser streak, but the Braves won 14 in a row. They right back in the NFC National League East. Excuse me, thinking about football. So I'm gonna talk about my Braves a little bit. I'll just look around at the standings, see what's going on in the baseball world. We got an NBA champion. The Golden State Warriors wins in 6 games as they defeat the Boston Celtics 4-2. Warriors 4-time the last 8 years. They are champions. Steph Curry wins Finals MVP. We're talking about both teams, what to look forward to in the future, and the surrounding East and Western conferences in the NBA. And now NFL Roundabout Series continue. This is our 4th division, the NFC South. So we're talking about the Atlanta Falcons, Carolina Panthers, New Orleans Saints, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers today. We'll look at their schedules, give you pretty much a brush how I think they're going to do this year. Of course, once the season gets closer, we'll have a big preview as I preview every team in the NFL and give you their prediction. And my Super Bowl pick for Super Bowl 57. So all that's coming up in the near future. Football season right around the corner. It's already pretty much June. It's pretty much halfway over. Praying the calf start late next month. So football season will be here before you know it. So definitely not too early to talk about some football. So we'll look at the NFC South today, and then next week we'll stay in the NFC. We'll go to the NFC North. Green Bay, Detroit, Chicago, and Minnesota. We'll talk about those teams: Vikings, Lions, Packers, and Bears next week. So, and we'll keep going that way through the division. And then there's a lot of content coming up for the channel. Like I said, more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shred of Revenge. Actually, I'm motivated. I might try to knock out a couple episodes and put them on the channel today. I might do a live stream tomorrow. I'll let you guys know on Instagram if I will or not. But that's in the works. Maybe maybe do an arcade playthrough, see how far I can get before I end the stream. So a lot to look forward to. Sonic Origins come out next week. So already I have it pre-ordered by Monday, but Thursday at midnight we should be able to get the first look at it. Actually, I might stay up and do a live special. I ain't gonna go live, but I'm gonna be special. Put some videos up so I can get ahead of everyone else on YouTube. Just like this game, the Ninja Turtles game, was a pre-order, so I had to wait till 9 a.m. Thursday. Even though they take long to download, it's for it to be, it's only $24. It's if you just want something quick to pay, I recommend the game as well, for you to play as well. So I do all my shout outs at the end of the video, but let's go ahead and get into what we need to talk about. MLB Latest. Like I said, me being a Braves fan, the Braves been quietly winning, kicking butt. 14-game winning streak just ended last night, like I said, as they lost to the Cubs. But they right back in it in the National League East. Keep saying NFC because I'm thinking about football. So now my phone want to act up. It does it every time I get on here. I be trying not to look down so much and look at the camera. Let's see. Now, yeah, it's really acting up now. Don't let me scroll. There we go. Yeah, so they just won 14 in a row, 37-28 now they record. So they 5.5 away from the New York Mets, who still been playing pretty well. But yeah, they're getting a lot of production from my man Austin Riley, who I think has the most RBIs on the team. and also the most home runs. Of course, you know the Braves are the defending champions. And like I said, I think it's going to be hard for them to repeat, though. Being in the National League, you got the we're going to look at the National League in a second. The other teams that's doing well. Yeah, Austin Riley, 39 RBIs, 18 home runs. The 18 home runs is pretty much top 5, I could easily say, in baseball right now. Dansby Swanson leads with the batting average at 290. And Max Fried is pitching well for the Braves for us as starters. So I'm excited. I'm gonna try to keep up with him. I sort of don't start getting into baseball prior to close to the playoffs, but I think we could definitely get one of those wild card spots. The rest of the East, Philly, even though I've talked about Joe Girardi getting fired a couple weeks ago, they've been playing pretty better, I should say, as they 4 game over at 35-31. Then you got Miami and Washington and Nationals. But they got young talent there. We'll see what they do. Trade deadline. They might be sellers and get rid of the trade away the big pieces like Juan Soto. I think he's the one everybody watching when they trade them. Central has been the St. Louis Cardinals and the Milwaukee Brewers. I think that's going to be pretty much all season long. They're going to probably flip-flop from first to second. I think everybody else in the Central is pretty much done. Like I said, the Cubs just coming off a 10-game losing streak. Pittsburgh Pirates and the Cincinnati Reds. I remember when they only had like 5 wins out of 30 games. So I guess you can't do nothing but get better. And the Padres quietly having a monster season. Dodgers still right there though. San Francisco Giants, I think they're going to be the 3 teams fighting for that all season long. Still no Fernando Tatis. The Padres just doing it with collective effort. Manny Machado having a good season. The Dodgers are just a deep, talented team. They ain't going nowhere. And the Giants are just resilient. Arizona and Colorado, they decent teams, but I don't see them improving and getting up, coming back from that. In the American League, the Yankees, everybody know what the Yankees been doing. A monster year for Aaron Judge. He's going to get his money. He's definitely earning his money. Other big bats, Anthony Rizzo, and just the rest of the team doing John Carlos Stanton. All those guys hit the baseball really, really well. And then quietly, who's the starting pitcher? In fact, let's just look it up. Forget it. Be trying to remember. I get brain farts when I get on here. Can't remember nobody's name. Hey, look at Judge. 312. This is Aaron Judge numbers. 312 batting average, 25 home runs, 49 RBI so far. That's just nuts. Yeah, Gleyber Torres playing well. Rizzo got 17 home runs. Stanton with 14. Okay, but let's look at the pitching. That's what I really came to look for. But the Yankees with their 48. Garrett Cole. I don't know why I couldn't remember Garrett Cole's name. But yeah, he's still having another good year. 6-1. Cortez pitching well as well. Add Talon. 7-1 for the Yankees. Let's look at the ERAs though. Talon's under 3. Cole's low 300s. Montgomery with a 2.72 ERA. Cortez under 2. So the Yankees pitcher getting it done as well, which I thought would be the weakness. I think the bullpen a little shaky still, but you can't deny what the Yankees are doing. Let's see if it translates to the postseason. Toronto been playing a lot better as well, but they just can't beat the Yankees as the Yankees blew them out again last night. Blue Jays they 11 back though at 37-27. Tampa still holding on. Boston quietly been playing well as well, 35-30. And then I guess I could call them my Orioles, me being the hometown from Baltimore, 29-37. But that's a lot better than last year. They're definitely a much better competitive team. They won last night. But I just think they're in a tough division. If they was in another division, maybe they'd be more competitive. Minnesota Twins and now the Cleveland Guardians a game back. I still believe in the White Sox. I still think the White Sox can make a push at 30 and 32. They're 2 under. Detroit and Kansas City. Just like I said about Colorado, Arizona, just 2 decent teams, but don't see nothing happening. Houston Astros is a team to watch out for as always. Like I said, they've been the top of this division in the American League for years, and I still think it continues. Alvarez, I talked about him a couple weeks ago. Him, and then the veterans Altuve and Alex Bregman's still there for the Astros. I still think, well, they're gonna win this division for sure. Angels, what the happened to the Angels? Now they 6 under at 30 and 36. Rangers passed them. And Seattle and Oakland, or Seattle and Oakland, as even though the A's been competitive here and there throughout the years, but not this year. Okay, so that's your baseball news for right now. All-Star break is about a month away, so like I said, we didn't really see who separates, even though we started to see separation now. Like I said, I think the teams that in their spots, they're going to stay or close to around their spots in both leagues. I think everybody else who's out of it, I think they out of it. Only team I think that can maybe take a flip, like I said, is the Chicago White Sox. I think everybody else is pretty much going to be who they're going to be the rest of the year. Alright, let's talk about basketball. Congratulations once again to the Golden State Warriors. They won the championship on Thursday night, defeating the Boston Celtics 4-2. Pretty much the series went pretty much how I thought it would go. Celtics, like I said, they had the talent to compete with the Warriors, especially on the defensive side, but they just was too inconsistent. Too many turnovers did them in. The A show for Jason Tatum. He didn't have a great series. Jaylen Brown flashed a little bit, kept them competitive. Marcus Smart was a little inconsistent as well. The role players other than game one pretty much disappeared the rest of the series as well. So that's why I just didn't think they could compete with the Warriors. Warriors veterans. Draymond Green had a rough series, but he the last couple of games he played like he played. Tristan Thompson, Klay Thompson. I'm sorry, I don't know what that's got Krista from. Klay Thompson, I think by next year, I think he'd be almost back. Not probably back to his full self. I think he'll never be the old Klay, but I think he'll be more consistent. Starting next year, Steph Curry, as long as he got his arms and he can shoot, he'll still be where he be. And I was so happy, I felt happy for him. He finally get a Finals MVP, so some of the criticism he does get, I think that's just slow down. He definitely changed the game as far as the 3-point shot. Like I said, I've been watching basketball since the 90s, and the 90s used to be whoever. Sometimes you get imposed your physical will on teams. The 3 was more of a specialist type thing. You had a 3-point shooter out there just in case the offense break down. You just throw it out to the 3-point shooter to hit a 3. But now it's like the offense is basically just to sum it up. You coming down for a fast break. You're trying to just get to the basket. Now you'll run to the corner for a 3 on a fast break now. So that's pretty much how the game has changed. And Steph Curry definitely got a big part of that. The debate with him though is he a top 10 player of all time? I would still say no, just off my top. I don't have a top 10. Maybe I should do one next week. Maybe I will. I'll make a list next week. But I got a top 5 already, which is Mike, LeBron James, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, and I got Kobe 5th, which is probably the controversial one. I mean, just by me guessing, I'm gonna say no, not yet. He could, if he continue to win championships and continue to climb the ladder. I think he could crack the top 10 one day, but still not right now. It's not in no particular order. My 5 was in order, but after Kobe, gotta put Larry Bird at the top 10 somewhere. I don't know if he would be 6, but the impact he had on the NBA, he has to be in the top 10. Tim Duncan, to me, that's a clear top 10. So that's 7 people, right? Yeah. So 3 more. Will Chamberlain, to me, I think people debating about it. Some people left him out. No, he got to be in it. How dominant he was in his day. Some people say Shaq. I can't argue with Shaq. Shaq was a dominant force as well. I heard somebody say Hakeem Olajuwon, but I was surprised because Hakeem Olajuwon to me is underrated. So I have to think more about it, but I still would put all those people over Steph. As far as the current players, I think some people say he's you got to put him over Durant as far as all time. I can't argue with that. But really, pretty much current players, he's pretty much one of the top. You know, if you're going by all time, LeBron, of course, still playing as well. But they say he passed Durant. I mean, you just got so many good players. Moses Malone. Like I said, I like Hakeem Olajuwon. Like I said, Tim Duncan, Bird, Wilt Chamberlain, Elgin Baylor, Jerry West. Those guys, you can't forget about those older guys. Oscar Robertson. I was still like, I guess the debate comes with Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, those guys, Gary Payton, where does Steph land in that? But it's interesting. I'm gonna probably do a top 10 next week. But I know Steph probably wouldn't be in it. But let's say he wins again next year, which is possible, he'd definitely be definitely considered. He's definitely top 15. I would say it easy. But everybody make a list because it was the 75th anniversary, so people had a 75 list. But I barely can make a 5, so I'm gonna do a 10. I'll probably do it next week. That'd be something to look forward to next week. But as far as the Warriors going forward, though, I think, like I said, the Western Conference is always a tough conference. You just never know teams form here and there. But to me, teams that's not going nowhere. The Memphis Grizzlies, to me, I think they legit. How young they are. John Morant come back, and that's the only series that the Warriors run. You know, that's the only series I was worried that they might not win. I actually flipped my pick because I had Memphis beating them before the playoffs started. Then when I seen them how they played in the first round. Who they played in the first round? The Denver Nuggets. How they dismantled them, even though the Nuggets was short-handed. You know, no Michael Porter Jr., no Jamal Murray. That's why I think Denver, with Jokic getting better, I think they'd be formidable. I think it'd be Memphis, Denver, and the Golden State Warriors. I think they cleared the top 3. I think Phoenix is about to come back down. I know they had a great season last year, but I think Chris Paul, I'm not saying he's done, but I just think he maxed out. I think he would still be a decent player. I still want him as my point guard, but I think as far as Phoenix goes, and then we don't know what's going to happen with Ayton. So until that happens, I bring Phoenix down some. Lakers is a wild card. You still got LeBron James. So Anthony Davis, to me, like I said, I'm probably going to talk about him more throughout the coming weeks. He going to have to come with it, man. Like I said, I don't want to say he's overrated, but I never had him as a top 5 player. I didn't. You know, when people were saying that he has the talent, but he's not, like, far as like just his motor. And other veteran players have said it, like he just don't have the motor. But it's a big year for him. I think it's a show me year for Anthony Davis. But if he comes and be what he's had the potential to be, then the Lakers will be competitive. So that's another team to watch out for out the West. So the Warriors have competition, but I really like the Grizzlies. Like, if they keep building around John Morant right, the Grizzlies could be a consistent team from here to come. And in the East, we don't know with Brooklyn. They got question marks for Ben Simmons come back. Can Durant and Kyrie get it together? Sixers, Joel Embiid, can he stay healthy for a whole year? And what they gonna do with James Harden? They want to give him a short deal. We'll see. It depends on him. What happens with that? Will he still be in Philly next year? But overall, the East is stronger. Chicago will be better next year. I think Charlotte will be better. We'll see with the draft. The draft is this Thursday, so some teams about to add players. Milwaukee will be back. I think Milwaukee is clearly the best team in the East. I just think Boston. We're going to talk about Boston, but I think with Giannis being Giannis, I think he's going to continue to get even better. The Chris Middleton injury really hurt them against the Celtics. I think they would have beat Boston if they'd had Middleton. They need him to hit shots when the offense break down. I think that hurt the Bucks. And just if they keep that team, I like their core team. They role players as well. I think the Bucks will be back there. Boston, like I said, to me, their biggest weakness is clearly point guard, and it showed with the turnovers. They don't. I think Jaylen Brown and Tatum, y'all shouldn't be running the point. Y'all should be playing your positions. Marcus Smart is not really a point guard to set you up. He's a defensive guard that shoot threes, basically a 3-and-3 guy that do small stuff on the court. But as far as like running the offense, he's not the guy. So they need somebody to run the offense, get Jalen and Jason easier shots. So they gotta play too much one-on-one. I think that's what makes them turn the ball over, because they gotta handle the ball too much. So if they can find a veteran point guard or somebody that could initiate the offense, then Boston will be right back there. I like their role players as well. If they continue to improve, Robert Williams was huge. Al Horford was huge. So if they keep those guys, I think they'll still be competitive again. Toronto Raptors is a team to watch out for too. I think if they add someone, they could be wild card as well. So the East is a little bit deeper than it's been over the last few years. I like the Washington Wizards. That's a kind of crazy wild card, because I like Kristaps, even though a lot of people give up on Kristaps. I like Kristaps Porzingis. Bradley Beal being back fully. The guys they got there. So I forgot about the Dallas Mavericks. I like the Dallas Mavericks as well. They made a trade for Christian Wood this week, but they still need more. They need some more big men as well. I think Luka, take some responsibility out of Luka's hands, and I think they'd be fine as well. So there's a lot of teams, good teams, in both conferences next year. So let's look forward to next year. But they got the Warriors as right now favorites already. Can't really argue with that, because I think they'd be better next year. I think they wild card is Wiseman. How good is he really is? Because if they get a good, decent big man that can score as well and play defense, that's what I think the Warriors need. But they never really had to worry about that throughout the playoffs. So we'll see. But next year is going to be fun. I'll take a look at the draft next week as well. And like I said, I do a top 10 all-time players. You already know my 5, but I'm going to extend it to 10. So I had some time to think about that. That's going to be an interesting list, though. But I don't think Steph's going to crack my top 10, though. But he's definitely knocking on the door. All right, so that's it with basketball. Again, congratulations to the Golden State Warriors. I was happy for Steph. You know what? It's good to see, like, when you watching the celebrating. So that's why I like to watch them, especially now with all the players bring their kids out there and their family. I mean, it's just how happy the people be. It's just a joy to see, seeing the little kids jump around and looking so happy to be with their dads. It's a joy to see. I really like that. Like Draymond Green family. I didn't know he had that many kids. I don't really follow that type of stuff with the players, like their family and kids and stuff. His 3 little kids. His little daughter was so sweet, being all quiet with a little mean mug. That was fun to see. Steph Curry, I think I don't know where his kids was, but his wife was there. Just seeing the players' kids, it's just a joy to see. So I like to watch that. That's why I like to watch the celebrations. But congratulations to the Warriors again. Now it's time to do our NFL Roundabout Series. The NFC South is our featured division today. We're going to do all 4 teams in alphabetical order. So first we're going to start with the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons had a rough year last year. Let's pull them up. We're going to pull up their schedule. Falcons, of course, they lost Matt Ryan with the trade to Indianapolis. So basically, their quarterback room is Marcus Mariota, It's rumored that they probably were interested in Baker Mayfield, but I don't know. I think they just waiting for Baker to get released, I believe. Let's look at their roster real quick, because I think as far as the quarterbacks, I think Mariota might be in line to start. Yeah, Felipe Franks, Marcus Mariota, Desmond Riddler. I don't really know who that is. I wonder, yeah, Calvin Ridley, he's suspended for the season due to the gambling thing, so he won't be there even though he's on the roster. But I wonder how Kyle Pitts going to develop. Will he continue to develop? He had a decent year last year in his rookie season. And Atlanta defensively has been terrible, so hopefully they can improve on that side of the ball. That's been the Achilles heel the last few years. Is their defense. Okay, let's look at the schedule now for the Atlanta Falcons. Week 1 they got the Saints first to lead off on September 11th. Then at the Rams. Then at Seattle. Then the Cleveland comes to Atlanta. Then they go to Tampa. Then the 49ers come to the Falcons. Return of Kyle Shanahan. Then they go to Cincinnati, face the Bengals. Then they get the Panthers at home. Then they get the LA Chargers at home. Thursday night game against the Panthers. Then come home for the Bears. Then they go to Washington, face the Commanders. Then they got the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. Then they play the Ravens. I don't know, they don't play them to the 24th, but that's a road game as well. So after the I guess they got a bye. Then after the Saints, they go to Baltimore, face the Ravens, and then their last 2 games is Arizona Cardinals come to Atlanta, 2 home games to end the season. Then they get Tampa to end the season on January 8th of 2023. So schedule, I mean, looks, decent. It's not really, hard stretches. Maybe, they have to win some games they ain't supposed to win, but they get that the NFC West, which will be a tough road. And then they got the North of the AFC. So yeah, so I guess if you think about it that way, it's schedule not that easy, but it's not no game I'm saying wow, it's not like a murderous row. I think they could be surprising, but they'll have to win some games they ain't supposed to. They got some games, winnable games as well, like the Bears game is winnable, even though I think the Bears will be a little bit better. Let's see how they go against the Panthers. That's going to be, they rival that they might can beat both games in the division. But like I said, the Falcons, it's been their defense the last few years has been hurting them. But definitely a new era, no Matt Ryan, so pretty much all the veterans are gone. Right now, I guess Mariota would be the starter. Excuse me. And I like Marcus Mariota. He's a decent quarterback. But for the Falcons, is their defense going to improve? If so, maybe there might be a slight surprise. But I still see them finishing higher than third in this division. Still right now. So let's move on to the Carolina Panthers. Can I get... Yeah, I can get here from here. The Panthers, though, got a lot of question marks. They were interested in Baker now, too. There was a report this week saying that they now urgently trying to get him. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, let's pull up their schedule. Hopefully it don't take me to that. Yeah, good. Yeah, it did it the first time this time. Alright, so speaking, the interesting thing is if they do get Baker, guess who they face first? the Cleveland Browns. They get them first week 1. So if Baker do wind up going to Carolina. He will get the Browns out the way right off the bat. Then they go to New York, face the Giants. Then New Orleans comes to Carolina. Then Arizona as well. 3 straight home games. Then they get San Francisco at home. So, you know, it's going to be a road stretch somewhere. At LA Rams. Then they get Tampa. Then at Atlanta. I lost it. Okay, then they go to Cincinnati on a road. Then they come back home for the Falcons. So basically, the 2 weeks, 2 out of 3 weeks they faded Falcons, and then that's a Thursday night game, by the way, the game at home, which I think I probably mentioned because I just did the Falcons schedule. Then Denver comes to Carolina, face the Panthers. Then they on the road at Seattle, and Seattle was a team that was just as big as Mayfield as well. Then they get the Ravens. Or November 20th, I probably skipped that game by mistake because the Ravens my favorite team, so they always put the Ravens games up top, despite the date. So they play the Ravens November 20th. Yeah, then they got Denver, which I said. Then they must have a bye because it's a long way before they play the Seahawks. But then they get the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. Yeah, the Detroit Lions. Seems like they got a lot of home games. I mean, I know it's uneven, you know, since it's 17 games now. Then at Tampa, and then at New Orleans to end the season. So they get 2 road games to end the season, 2 division road games. So, like I said, we'll see with the Panthers. Will they get Baker Mayfield? If so, maybe it might slightly improve them. But the big question mark, can Christian McCaffrey stay healthy? That's been going to be the question mark for the rest of his career. He's a great running back, but a small running back. Got a lot of bumps and bruises. So if he can stay healthy, get that offense on track, maybe the Panthers. Again, like I said, no, you know, pretty average schedule. But if they don't, will Sam Darnold improve because he's still on the roster? Like I said, can Christian McCaffrey stay healthy? Got young receivers and running backs, so we'll see how they develop. Defensively, practice was decent, so maybe if they improve, they can help win them some games. But like I said, I don't see them finishing no higher than 3rd. I think them and the Falcons will be fighting for that 3rd spot. I think the 2 top teams clearly are New Orleans and Tampa. And speaking of New Orleans, that's what we about to talk about now. So let's go to the Saints schedule. Saints, you know, interesting team as well. Jameis Winston, very excited quarterback to watch. Let's see if he have a good year. If he does, people talk about dark horse MVP. I ain't gonna go that far, but let's look at the Saints schedule now. They start with the Falcons on the road in week 1. Then they got Tampa the next week. Then at Carolina. Then Minnesota comes to New Orleans. And then Seattle comes as well the next week. In fact, that's the New Orleans Vikings game. I'm sorry, that's a London game. That's 9:30 a.m. start, so that's in London. So I apologize about that. Then they get Seattle at home. Then they get the Cincinnati Bengals at home as well. Then Thursday night at Arizona to face the Cardinals. Then they get the Raiders at home. That should be an interesting game. Then they get the Ravens. Yeah, they get the Ravens. It's a Monday night game. Is it home? Yep, it's at home. Then they go to Pittsburgh. Then the Rams come to New Orleans. Then they go to San Francisco, face the Niners. Then they face Tampa again. That's a Monday night game. Then Atlanta comes to New Orleans. Then they go to Cleveland. Then They finish with the Eagles on the road, and then the Panthers come to New Orleans to finish the season. Like I said, Saints a wild card team as well. Well, this defense improved. No Sean Payton, so we'll see how that goes with the new head coach. Famous Jameis, can he improve? I like Jameis Winston though. Like I said, him and Mariota, same draft. Crazy that they both are on different teams now, but I like Jameis Winston game just if he cut out his interceptions. But he's a strong thrower of the football. Mark Ingram II, I like him being a Ravens fan. He's back in New Orleans. Their biggest question mark, which I almost went over my head, is Michael Thomas. Is he coming back? Is he's dedicated to the Saints? I think this year is going to prove it. If so, he was one of the best receivers in the league at the time. Can he get back to his form? That would help the Saints out a lot. Jarvis Landry they picked up in the offseason. I forgot about that. So Saints definitely all in on offense. They still use Taysom Hill as a Swiss Army knife. Defensively, like I said, underrated defensive team. Cam Jordan, the leader of that defense. Can he lead the Saints to more big plays they had on defense last year? If so, the Saints could be, like I said, a surprise in the NFC. Really, only teams to me are clear NFC favorites, the Rams. I like the Niners to me, wild card, because you don't know what their defense, the quarterback really going to be. Is Jimmy Garoppolo still going to be there? I think Seattle is taking a step back. Even if they get Baker, I still think they'd be an average team. And Arizona, to me, I'm starting to just not like the vibe there. No DeAndre Hopkins for pretty much the first half of the season. Kyler Murray a little unhappy, so the Cardinals is a wild card. Now in the North, you just got pretty much Green Bay. Everybody else, I think Minnesota has the potential, but they still got Kirk Cousins, so it's a place for the Saints to make an improvement. In the East, you got the Eagles and the Cowboys. You don't know what the Giants and the Commanders going to be like, so it's room for a surprise team to come out the NFC, or at least to come up. So Saints could be that team if Jameis Winston can stay healthy. So now let's talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buccaneers, of course, with the great Tom Brady. Now I want to touch on that. Like they've, Tom Brady, he retired for basically a month in February. Right after the Super Bowl, whatever it was, and they came back out of retirement. Now there's all this rumors about that the reason he did it was he was trying to get out of Tampa and get to Miami. First I thought it was when he first left New England he was trying to get to Miami because Robert Flores was there, a lot of familiar Patriots was there. So, but they were saying he was trying to get there this offseason, which really it don't bother me at all. I think Tom Brady, he's too much a competitor. I don't think he's basically, people saying is he one foot out the door. Bruce Arians stepped down, it's Todd Bowles now as the coach. That's a factor. Some players left on the defensive side, so can the Buccaneers defense still play up to par? Still got Mike Evans and Chris Godwin though, so those two receivers are definitely more capable than doing something. Did a running back from LSU leave? I guess I'm about to pull up their roster now. Leonard Fournette, yeah, he's still there. They got Jadari Bernard, so the offense still going to be decent, even if Gronk don't come back. So I'm not worried about the offense. It's going to be just like this whole division. Really, is the defenses. Can they hold up and play well? If so, then Tampa to me is still going to be another NFC contender. I don't see why they won't. So let's check out their schedule real quick. Look at their games. Okay, they start with the Cowboys, just like they did. I think they did last year too. It's in Dallas. It's a Sunday night game. then at New Orleans, then Green Bay comes to Tampa. So a couple of tough games to start the season for the Bucks. Chiefs, a Sunday night game. Then they get Atlanta. Then they at Pittsburgh. Then they go to Carolina. Then they got the Ravens, a Thursday night game, short week, on October 27th. Then the Rams come to Tampa. Then they get Seattle. That's a London game, 9:30 a.m. start. Then they go to Cleveland, play the Browns. Then they get the Saints again, Monday night, December 5th. Then they at San Francisco, which should be a interesting game. Then Cincinnati comes to Tampa. Then they at Arizona. Then at home for the Carolina Panthers, and then they finish the season in Atlanta to face the Falcons. That first part of the schedule kind of tough. Like I said, you got Dallas, the Saints, which been in the regular season. The Bucks, since Brady been there, haven't beaten them. Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers, just never know. Even though I think Green Bay is going to take a step back, but I still think they'd be a formidable team. Chiefs are the Chiefs. Then the schedule get a little bit softer. Pittsburgh is a wild card. We're going to talk about the AFC North next week. We'll see who their quarterback is. That'll be a tough game because of their defense. Carolina, then you got the Rams, defending champions. So you got a lot of tough games on here. But I still think they'd be close to 12 wins, 11, 12, 13 wins again. Brown Brady is the GOAT. It was a lot of interesting things being said about Brady also. Is this is the first time he's really being celebrated, like, you know, because most people think this is really his last year this year, but it's a lot of people actually got us, you know, predicting that Brady's going to do well. Brady's usually one of those ones he needs someone to go against him, but I think the first part of the year, I think they're going to probably get off to a slow start. I think that'll probably reignite his competitive fire, and the Buccaneers will be right there again. But like I said, it's going to be, can they defense be consistent throughout the year and make stops when they need stops? If so, the Buccaneers will be right there. Like I said, I think if I had to pick two teams in the NFC, I really feel good about. I still feel good about the Rams again. Aaron Donald's back. You know, that was a bunch of hogwash when he was talking about he was going to retire and all that. Long as they got him on that side of the ball, him and Jalen Ramsey, solidify that defense. Matthew Stafford, I think, now going to feel just like when anybody else, they finally get the monkey up. I think he's going to play more free. He's going to be a much better quarterback. Cooper Kupp is the real deal. I think the Rams is a formidable NFC team, and then I think the Buccaneers, I have to say, is second right now. Because I think Green Bay losing Devontae Adams, I think that's going to matter. But I think they'll still win that division because it's so weak. But like I said, the NFC is sort of wide open at the bottom. Cause some bottom teams, like Chicago, a lot of people's on. Like I said, the Niners are a wild card. I like the Saints. It's a wild card, you know, that can do something. The Eagles are much improved. Dallas, even though Dallas, I won't call them a wild card, but they had the potential, but can they finally break through this time? So, other than those two teams, I think the rest of the NFC sort of have question marks. So you can see a team emerge and maybe surprise somebody this year. So that's our roundabout series for the day. Of course, next week it will be the AFC North. So that's the Ravens, Steelers, Browns, and the Bengals. Bengals, of course, defending AFC champions. So we'll talk about those four teams next week. I'm just kind of excited because I'm a Ravens fan, so I get to try to be objective and look at those four teams. But like I said, all four of those teams have, well, Pittsburgh and Cleveland got the biggest questions, but can the Ravens and the Bengals continue their success? So a lot to talk about with those four teams next week. So that's it for this week for the Sports Blog. I was glad to be back. Like I said, you can still hear my voice. I'm still a little bit under the weather. Sometimes I still lose my voice, but other than that, I feel a lot better. A lot of people say, well, maybe it was COVID, or maybe because I was basically, I started off with stomach pains and that type of stuff. Had to run back and forth to the bathroom, throwing up, stuff like that. Then it kind of changed it to just a real bad cold. I had a fever for a couple of days. So nothing I never felt before. Like I said, I lost my voice for a day or two. Like really couldn't talk at all. Throat was very, very sore. Started taking some medicine and it improved. So really, like I said, still like at the last stage of it, but definitely a lot better. So that's why I couldn't come on last week. I wouldn't have been able to talk. I felt good Friday night because I was like, all right, I'm gonna get up in the morning to do it. But once I laid down and got up Saturday morning, I felt a bit bad again. So I was like, nah, I would have to cancel. I was trying to do videos here and there with the video games playthroughs. Speaking of that, like I said, hope everybody been enjoying the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge project. I'm on episode 9. I'll be posting that sometime this morning. Probably take a little quick power nap. Probably get up in about 2 hours and knock some of those out. Like I said, I will announce it on Instagram if I'm doing it, but I'm thinking about doing a live stream tomorrow, arcade gauntlet of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. If I do, I will announce it on Instagram sometime tonight or tomorrow. So I'll make that decision sometime today. But that's a project that's jumping off. Still the King of Fighters, check that out. Still have Call of Duty Vanguard videos. Sonic Origins launched this Thursday. I'm gonna go ahead and pre-order it Monday, so it'll be already downloaded and ready to go. So can't wait for that. So we got a lot of content coming up. You know, that game itself got 4 different games on it, so it's gonna be a lot of content. PlayStation Plus with the free games, I'm gonna get that next week, so it might be some retro games, so look out for that. God of War 2 I think I'll be able to play, so if that's the case, we got a lot of stuff coming up this summer, so we keep you busy and keep the channel going. I appreciate all the support, by the way. My subscribers got a little quick bump. I got a couple of new subscribers this week. As I'm editing this video, I'm gonna look around and see if it's somebody that I know, because you can hide who you subscribe to, so if you do, then I can't see it. But I'm up to 76, so hopefully I want to get to 100 before September. That's sort of my personal goal. So hopefully these projects will push the channel. I try to put more on Instagram, push the channel, you know. Like I said, I appreciate the support, but it's just not consistent, to be honest, and I'm not complaining about that, but it's just not consistent support, but I do get support, so I appreciate it. That's why I never push, you know, for people to subscribe or to donate. I have ways you can donate, but I'd rather have somebody ask, because then I know if they doing it out of, you know, being genuine. So if you do ask, I'll let you know how you can do that. You know, it'll help me get newer games and things of that nature. So but I never ever push for that. No matter how big my account get, I'm never going to push too hard for that. I want things to be natural, to be that you want to donate or want to support. I want it to be real and genuine, you know. So that's why I never repeat like some people do, which is nothing wrong with what they doing, but you know, just keep reminding you to subscribe, like, and all that stuff. I'd rather it be a natural decision that you make. So but despite all that being said, I still appreciate everybody and everybody that come on here and wish me luck this week. I was down and sick. People that checked on me. Helping Hearts 88, shout out to you, TB Cutie. But Helping Hearts, you know, we talk here and there behind the scenes. She been talking about collaborating. I gotta figure out how to do that, because I wouldn't mind collaborating with her, but I think we got different systems, so that's gonna be tough. And I think we'll probably have to do something. I'm doing something on my channel, she doing something on her channel, and just mix it together, you know. We'll probably have to do something like that. But I wouldn't mind playing, because she said she liked to play games and stuff, so that'd be something to look forward to. So I'm already told her, you know, but I'm definitely open to that. So, but thanks for the support. Like I said, thanks for everybody who wished me well wishes. I'm a lot better than I was a week ago. Still lingering, but still getting over it. I'm gonna take a power nap. Look out for some more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. gonna post some on Instagram to remind you to watch this video. More NFL Roundabout next week. I'm gonna do top 10 NBA players of all time next week. And we'll have some more baseball news. We'll probably look at the USFL playoffs that starts. NHL finals, if you're a hockey fan, game 2 is tonight. Avalanche lead that series by getting over the Tampa Bay Lightning. So if you're a hockey fan, I definitely, you should definitely check that out. And I'll be doing videos throughout the day. Tomorrow, like I said, MLB The Show, I'm gonna try to do that video of that tomorrow. And then after that, that's when I might go live. It depends on what I got going on tomorrow. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Very underrated holiday, like I said it before. If you got a father in your life, or you had a father in your life, definitely be grateful for that. And lift our people up, our black men and our men period, but definitely our black men definitely needs a boost of confidence. So hug your fathers, tell them if you know a good father, definitely give them a shout out. True West said, thank you so much. Thank you for joining me for episode 185 of the Solid Sports video blog. I'll see you guys next week. A lot of content coming up this week, so definitely keep your eyes open on the channel, and I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching. Peace and love always. Thank you so much.